Hi everyone, this is Intuitive Edge. Welcome once again, where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So I want to weigh in on this topic that everybody is still talking about, and I want to just share a few things that I've been feeling and experiencing, and that is in relation to what took place in September with Charlie Kirk. Now, I initially weighed in on what happened, try to see what happened in the early days, and was getting all kinds of strange, weird information, and it wasn't adding up at all with what was coming out. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna step aside and just let this kind of ride for a while. And I actually had some intuitive guidance that cautioned me on this topic and said that I got the impression that it was actually a very dangerous topic to read on, and that there was a lot of moving parts and a lot of people protecting the information. And so I thought, I'm just going to sit this out. So I did, and I kind of felt like maybe after a month, when the dust settles, that it would be safe to jump back in on this. In the meantime, I've been kind of following what's been happening. I've been watching the drama between TPUSA and Candace Owens and some others. Very interesting, all of that's unfolding. I'm sure some of you, if you've been following this story, are familiar with all of the drama and the backstory that's been going on there. But an interesting video I came across the other day was a channel I'd never heard of before. It was a psychic intuitive. I think her name is Sarah Grace. And she was sharing how she tried to do a soul reading on Mr. Robinson, the accused. And she had all kinds of interference. Her computer would shut down. She was having birds tapping and flying into her window and making all kinds of noise when she was trying to record. Just really weird stuff that was kind of spooky. And it kind of confirms what I've been feeling about this, that this was a very dangerous topic to weigh into, because the truth is being guarded, and at this point it seems like it's guarded by not just humans but beings, energies, and however you believe, whatever you want to project into that, that's what's guarding this information. So I urge anybody that is an intuitive that weighs into this to do some protection rituals around yourself, have crystals, prayers, whatever you do to protect your energy. Bring in the light, Christ light, whatever you do. I think this topic is, there's some dark elements that are involved with this. And yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. So before I got on here, I spent some time in just a brief meditation, just asking. It's like, I really want to know what the truth is. And I feel like I've been blocked, but I think that now it's time to weigh back in on this. And so I sat down and I started doing my intuitive tune in. And I'm going to show you what messages I started seeing in the cards, because I think this is interesting. And I got about halfway done and thought, I want to start this recording, and then we'll wrap it up and see what we can glean from all this. So as I was shuffling up, I shuffled up quite a bit, and then I just set the cards this way, facing up, and that's not how I normally do cards. Normally I would shuffle the deck, but I just did that, and I thought, I'm just gonna look into this with what I'm seeing here, as I felt drawn in. And so I'm just going to show you what I was seeing. So this first card, the Seven of Wands. Get this up to the screen here. So this is a card of getting the upper hand, but it's also a struggle. And I was really kind of drawn in with this artwork to this figure here. You can kind of see a little down here. He's casting a shadow. And it's like these wands are all facing him. And I felt like these are energies coming into this whole situation. And that shadow was really kind of speaking to me as being a shadow element. That there's some dark forces that are lining up and coming in with this. Then I looked at this card and it was like, interesting here. The Seven of Swords is about a tricky situation. It can represent a thief, somebody doing something underhanded, sneaky. Also the fox there. I noticed that there are other people mentioning seeing foxes when they do readings, and I thought that was interesting to see that pop up on this as well. And then we had the reversed King of Pentacles. I'll show him to you upright. This king, when he pops in reversed, is probably one of the most negative aspects in the tarot. This king, when he's upside down, represents corruption, devious, slander. It's very nefarious when it's upside down. Then this card right below it, this is a card about incoming messages, something coming in. And I was pulling in, let's see if we can zoom in here. I was pulling into this sheep. This field is full of sheep. And these arrows, these wands, are up in the sky. And it felt like if the sheep represent people that are, maybe these sheep aren't really knowing what's really happening. They're just kind of living their lives. Most people maybe that aren't following this story are kind of like not really paying attention. And all of this activity is going up above them. And it felt to me like this is a spiritual warfare. This is a battle going on between light and dark. The whole artwork. We've got the light underneath, the dark up above, right up there. And it felt like this is what's happening. And a lot of people don't know what's really going on. A lot of people don't see it. They are not aware of the real nature of this battle, which is a spiritual one. Then I got this card, the Knight of Wands. This is about taking action. And this knight, I don't know why my screen keeps glitching when I'm moving. Anyway, this knight is, to me, it was like he's taking action he's feeding right into these. So these two were like tying together. And it felt to me like there are aspects of spiritual warriors that are joining forces in this spiritual battle. And I was trying to feel into what that is exactly. It could be people coming in that are saying, we're coming in to fight this. We want to know the truth. We want to know, no more secrets. This whole thing, if you've been following the story, doesn't make sense, the story that we're being told. And there's a lot of holes and a lot of theories going around. And this feels to me like an army or a lot of people coming in to join in this spiritual battle. Then I had the reversed Page of Pentacles. Now this is about where I left off. I got interrupted and my phone rang. So
let's just see what we can pull into this. This page is about a messenger, about learning something. And it feels like there's something being heavily guarded. The truth is being heavily guarded. He did come in reversed, which could indicate something is not on the up and up. And it has to do with learning. There's information and learning, education about this whole thing that is not being shared. It's not being, it's being hidden. And this feels like there's a message about that. Pages always say there's something that you need to know that you don't know at this point, and it's important to keep digging.
The next card out was the Queen of Cups, and it came in reversed. When I pulled this card, I just feel Erica's energy with this card. It came in reversed, and I was looking at the artwork, trying to pull in what message was coming through with this. And I was pulled to this in the background, this kind of, it feels like an influence that's maybe a little dark, that's trying to influence her. There's something about a negative or dark behind Erica pulling in with this. So I paused the video to do a light meditation, and I shuffled up the cards asking about Lance Twigs and was he involved. There's so many facets to this story. You could go down just Lance Twigs, you could go down Tyler Robinson, you could go down Erica Kirk. Any of these are trails that will lead somewhere. So I wanted to start with him because initially when I was delving into this, I just feel like there's something more with him and wanting to see where this might go. The first card out is Justice. And I thought that was really, really interesting. The card of justice, fairness, balance. Seeing if I pull anything into this initially. Feels like there's layers. And maybe I should turn the camera around. I'll do that. I'll be right back.
Okay, so the justice card. When I saw this step here and step here, it was like there's layers. There's layers to this story. And something about justice with him. Now, he's not seemed to be facing any type of justice, but we'll see. This is a card about moving on. And it's interesting that this is, in this spread, is crossing the justice card. Does that mean moving on, moving away from justice, not finding justice, not having justice? This is about we're turning a corner and moving away. So to me, that's either the obstacle or the blockade for the justice card. This card is the upside down hermit. The hermit is introspection, going within, seeking answers. And when it's reversed, it's like that's not happening. This is maybe obfuscation, moving on, but not getting to the truth, not seeing what's really going on. And interesting with this hermit card in this deck, that hermit, when he's upright, he's holding the lantern and he can see ahead on this treacherous path and see that there's snakes ahead. But reversed is like we're not looking, we're not paying attention, justice is not coming through correctly with this whole thing, in my opinion. All right, another card here. It came in reversed. This is a messenger, Page of Cups. Pages of Cups let us know that there's something fishy going on. This is a messenger telling us there's something really not right with all of this. And having it kind of up underneath everything, pulling into this, there's something not right about this. And it's because justice is being thwarted and people are being misguided to look elsewhere and not get to the truth. That's what that means up there, in my opinion. This is a card of risk. Taking a risk. It's also a risk of abandonment. But there was a huge risk taken with this whole thing. Let's see what... Ooh! Well, now there's a nice card coming out. This is on what's coming up in the future. Seeing that Ace of Swords, that's new beginnings. That's getting to the truth, finding things. That's about mental clarity and taking action. So there could be some new things coming up. And it's right next to that Justice card. So there could be something regarding this hiding of the justice, obfuscation, moving on. And this is like it's coming around. Something is coming around with this. I'm going to move this back a little bit. Okay. All right, next card. We have the Death card. Death card in tarot signifies major change. There is major transformation on the situation coming into this. And it came in reversed. I'm wondering what that entails with that reversed Death card. Some schools of thought are that it amplifies the meaning. Some schools of thought are that it changes the meaning entirely. To me, it feels like this would be an amplification of that radical change. There's something that's going to be coming. Something being worked on. This is the Three of Pentacles. Moving ahead with plans, working on a plan, putting a plan in place. Has something to do with this new thing coming in. So we'll have to see who is bringing that in. Who is it about? This card, the Four of Swords, it came in reversed. This card is about taking a break, a rest, recuperation, and having it upside down. It's like, this is like not. It's like burning the candle at both ends, and that's kind of a tricky energy there. Oh, upside down Devil on the outcome. Oh man, I think we're in for a ride with this.
Seeing that reverse Death and reverse Devil on this really has me concerned that there are, again, forces and elements that do not want this truth getting out. So we may have to really be careful. And I think I just remembered something. I don't remember if it was my August month ahead, but I felt like there was something going to happen. And the truth of it, do not believe what you're hearing or seeing, because that's not the truth. I need to go back and look at my videos and find out when I said that, because this certainly fits that. I think there are elements, there could be dark forces that are actively protecting this information from being clear, being resolved. There's something being hidden and protected with this. And I think that is probably what I saw in a previous video about not believing the news that you see, and really vet things before just accepting things as truth. I think this story it's going to be interesting to see. And I feel like with that Knight of Wands coming in and facing into, I feel like there is something coming in that is wanting to have the truth be out and the truth be told. And there's warriors, I think, coming in. That's what it was facing into. Facing into that Eight of Wands. It's like, this is the battle. This is the battle, and it's a spiritual one. And there are forces coming in to fight. So bottom line is, to me, it's like, do we just look the other way and let them have their way and frame what could potentially be an innocent man forced for this? Do we just let them have their narrative and let them have their story and just go along? Or do we push back and say, we want the truth? We're not going to just accept the gaslighting and what feels incorrect and what looks to be a cover-up. So I suppose that's for each individual to decide on their own what they're willing to accept and believe. I guess that's all I'm going to say for this. I wanted to weigh back in on it because it's been a while since I looked at it, but I do think that it's a dangerous topic to look at much deeper. So prayers of protection around yourself and those who are delving into this. People like Candace that aren't satisfied with what we're being told. All right, everybody, that's all I'm going to say on this for now. If something comes up, I will jump back on. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.